So yesterday we learned regarding the pharmacology of serotonin receptors, and today is the pharmacology of serotonin. So first we learn regarding the physiological role of serotonin. So here we can learn regarding the role of the serotonin on the basis of the receptors. Okay, so first receptor is a 5-HT1A. So it is also known as a autoreceptor. It is a inhibitory receptor. It is mainly found in raphe nuclei, brainstem and hippocampus. So that's why it is play important role in the to show the anti-anxiety activity. It means so any analog or agonist of 5-HT1A receptor drug is so that was helpful for the treatment of the anxiety because so due to increase the excitation in the hippocampus or excitation in the brain stem, then only we are suffering from the anxiety. Okay, for example, if any unwanted news we can hear, so on that time we having some fear in the heart or in the chest. In same time our rate of respiration was increases because the brain stem is also consist of the respiratory center. It can regulate the respiration. So due to over excitations, due to any abnormalities or bad news or any unwanted eating of food or any allergy, so then the brain stem and in hippocampus the excitation is occurs. Excitation means so they can work more than the normal due to accumulations of sodium, due to accumulations of the calcium or due to accumulations of the excitatory neurotransmitter. So due to that part was suffering from the excitations. So that excitation is responsible for to cause of the anxiety, but that can be altered, that can be treated naturally in our body. So because of the presence of the serotonin, the serotonin, it can act through a 5-HT1A, so where it can avoid the anxiety. So that's why the serotonin play important role in the regulations of the anxiety. So regarding 5-HT1B receptors, it is commonly found in the substantia nigra. Already you are familiar with this part. You are heard his name in the Parkinson disease. Then as well as basal ganglia. It is also you can heard the name in the HAP as well as the during the study of the anti-Parkinson drugs. So these both part, so they are interconnected. Okay, so they are involved in the regulations of the locomotions or regulations of the muscular contraction or cognitive function, our writing skill, speaking skill. If any abnormalities are simply by decreasing the dopamine level in the substantia nigra or basal ganglia or increasing the acetylcholine level in the substantia nigra basal ganglia, then only we are suffering from the Parkinson disease. Okay, so here the 5-HT1 that is 5-HT1B receptor, so they are found on the substantia nigra and basal ganglia. So where the serotonin or 5-HT bind on this receptor, it can enhance the dopaminergic tone. It means it can enhance the dopaminergic discharge or the dopamine activity in the substantia nigra and basal ganglia. And here the dopamine, it can shows the inhibitory effect in the substantia nigra and basal ganglia. Then it can helpful for the to avoid the Parkinson's disease regarding the tremor, then muscular contractions. So these all are so the symptoms of the Parkinson's disease. So that can be avoided or treated by analog of 5-HT1B receptors or those agent. So those are bind on the as agonist on 5-HT1B. So that agent is helpful for the treatment of the Parkinson disease. And here the serotonin, it can bind on 5-HT1B receptor and enhance the dopaminergic discharge or dopaminergic use. So due to that, it can avoid the Parkinson disease naturally in our body. If the serotonin was failure, then only we are suffering from the Parkinson disease. So like that, the serotonin also play important role in the to avoid the development of the symptoms of the Parkinson disease. And regarding the 5HT1B and 5HT1D, it is found in the cranial blood vessels. Okay, so that's why it is involved in the to cause of the constriction. So due to that, the intraocular pressure or not intraocular intracranial pressure of the brain is increases. Okay, so next one is the alone 5HT1D. It can found in the sympathetic nerve endings. Okay, so then where it can inhibit the release of noradrenaline. So due to that lack of noradrenaline, the alertness, arousal or anxiety can be delayed. Okay, by release of the serotonin by binding on the 5HT1D, so where it can inhibit the release of noradrenaline or noradrenaline activity. So this is the beneficial effect to decrease the blood pressure or excitations, over excitation. So that over excitation is responsible for the psychosis, is responsible for the anxiety. So due to this mechanism also, the serotonin, it can avoid the development of the symptoms of the anxiety, or it can treat the anxiety. And regarding 5-HT2A receptor, it is commonly found in the vascular and visceral smooth muscles. So where it can shows the vasoconstrictions. Okay. So regarding the platelets, where it is also found, so where it can cause the platelet aggregation. It means the serotonin, it can enhance the blood coagulation by causing the platelet aggregations. So that platelet aggregation is also responsible for the development of the clot inside the blood vessel. So that is known as the thrombosis or formations of thrombi. So due to over activity of 5HT2A receptor, then only we are suffering from the cerebral thrombi or thrombus in the blood vessels. Okay, so due to platelet aggregations. So then it is also found in the cerebral neurons. So where it can shows the excitation. So that excitation is helpful for to regulations of arousal or to regulations of the cognitive functions or memory or motor skills. So regarding 5HT2B, it is found in the gastric gland. So what it can cause is the contraction. So due to that contraction, it is helpful for the secretions of the gastric juice. So due to secretions of gastric juice, the digestion is improved or it can enhance the motility. So this property is helpful for to decrease the weight, or it is helpful for to regulations of the appetite. Okay, so next one is the 5HT2C receptor. It is found in the vascular endothelium, is nothing but the blood vessel. So where it can cause the release of endothelium dependent releasing factor, also known as EDRF. So due to release of EDRF, it can cause the vasodilatation. So due to vasodilatation, the blood size was increases. So due to that, the as the blood vessels diameter increases, the pressure on the blood vessel was decreases. So that is helpful for to decrease the blood pressure. And regarding the 5HT3 receptors, so they are mainly found on the somatic and autonomic nerve endings. So due to where it can 5HT, it can cause the pain and itchings. So these are the one type of the allergic reaction due to overactivity of the serotonin on a 5HT3 receptors. So that's what is also involved in the to cause of inflammation or to cause of the allergy. And it is also found on the coronary chemoreflexes. So they can send information from carotid artery to the brain, then brain to the heart. So due to that, what it can produces the bradycardia, that is decrease the heart rate more than the normal. So that condition was known as the bradycardia. And it is also 5T3 is also found on the nerve ending in the mesenteric flexus. So where it can augment the peristalsis. The peristalsis is the wave-like movement. So they are present in the GIT. So like that. So these movement is helpful for the movement of the food from duodenum to jejunum, jejunum to ileum, ileum to large intestine, rectum, and rectum to outside the body. So that movement, due to presence of that movement, the food will be moved from one place to the another place in the GIT. The same peristalsis movement can augmented or copy by a serotonin by acting on the 5-HT3 receptor. So due to that, the food will be move from here to here. If its activity was more means if the food is rapidly move, so that can causes the diarrhea. Okay, if it is normal, that is helpful for to avoid the constipations, and it is helpful for digestive aid or helpful for the digestion of the food, because so due to movement of the food, so that food can mix up with the digestive juice that can secrete from the pancreatic gland or intestinal gland or as well as the bile. Okay, so that can mix with, then helpful for the digestions. But if it is more active, then movement will be rapidly more without mixing, without digestion, it can go out of the body. So that condition was known as the diarrhea. So due to this property, in some conditions, the 5-HT or serotonin is used for the treatment of the constipations. Then regarding 5-HT3, it is also found on the area of forestrema in brainstem, so that can regulate the emesis or omitting nausea as well as the respiration and as well as the anxiety. So where the 5 serotonin, it can bind on the 5-HT3 receptor and involved in the to cause of the nausea and vomiting. So here all the chemotherapeutic agent, they can causes the nausea and vomiting as a area through a by activating the serotonin binding on the 5-HT3 and enhance the activations of area of forestrema in the brainstem. So regarding the 5-4 to 5-7 receptors, so 5 is, that is 5, 6, 7, say their function is still unknown. And regarding 5-4, it is freely found in the GIT and as well as the brainstem. So in the brain, it can decreasing the potassium conductance. So due to decrease the potassium conduction in the brain, it can enhance the excitation, because the potassium is required for the relaxations of the brain or relaxations of the tissue or relaxations of the organs. And here the serotonin bind on the 5-4 in the brain, it can decrease the potassium level or potassium conductance. So due to that, it can enhance the once again the excitation effect on the CNS. So that excitation is required for the once again the regulations of memory or regulations of cognitive functions or regulations of the locomotions or motor skill or even the behaviors. So if our mood is stabilized, our brain was stabilized, then only the thoughts was generated. The thought generation was mainly depending upon the excitation. When we are depression, so then there is no thoughts was generated, no idea was generated in our brain. And here through a 5-4, the serotonin, it can enhance the excitation in the CNS. So that excitation is occurs due to decreasing the potassium conductance in the CNS. So like that, the serotonin play important role in the regulations of anxiety or to regulations of the dopaminergic tone. So that was helpful for to treatment or to avoid the Parkinson disease, and as well as it can enhance the intracranial pressure, and it can decrease the blood pressure or it can decreases causes the bradycardia through inhibiting the release of noradrenaline or through a coronary chemoreflexes. But in the blood vessel, it can shows the vasodilatations due to release of the EDRF. But in CNS, it can cause the nausea, vomiting, and excitations. And regarding the uh, GIT, it can enhance the peristalsis movement or emetic reflexes. So due to that, once again, the emesis is occurs or the nausea is occurs due to increase the peristalsis movement, and due to increase the peristalsis movement, the secretions was increases. The due to hypersecretion, the emetic reflexes are activate. Then we are suffering from the emesis. So now regarding the pharmacology, so first the pharmacology is CEVS, the effect of the serotonin on cardiovascular system. So with the help of the physiological rule, you can make this, that is the pharmacological actions of the serotonin. In the CVS, through a 5-1D receptors, it can decrease the blood pressure or it can decreases the heart rate by inhibitions of the noradrenaline, and as well as through a 5-2C receptor, it can causes the vasodilatation. So due to vasodilatation, the blood pressure is decreases. And through a coronary reflexes by regulations by 5-HT3 receptor, once again it can cause the bradycardia. But in some extent, through a contractions of vascular and visceral smooth muscle, it is involved in the to cause of the high blood pressure. So this is the pharmacological actions of the serotonin. And second one is the CNS. In CNS, it mainly produces the, that is the pain and itch due to through act through the somatic autonomic nerve endings, and as well as it can help show the anti-anxiety activity by through a 5-HT1A receptor, and through a 5-HT1B it can avoid the Parkinson disease development. So these are the, and as well as it can enhance the excitation of CNS by decreasing the potassium conduction through a 5-HT4 receptors. And regarding the GIT, it can enhance the gastric motility and also enhance the gastric secretion. So due to that, it can causes the diarrhea, or it is helpful for the treatment of the constipation. And others are, it will be having the nausea effects, and as well as it can involved in the platelet aggregation. So these are the pharmacological actions of the serotonins. So now we learn regarding the clinical uses of serotonergic agonist. So those drugs, they act like a serotonin. So they are augment or they copy the functions of the serotonin. And first drug is a buspirone. So it is the 5-HT1A agonist. Okay, you remember the receptor. The buspirone is the only one drug. It is the agonist of 5-HT1A receptor, and it can copy the activity of the serotonin on a 5-HT1A receptor in the brainstem as well as the in the hippocampus. Then due to that, it is used as a anxiolytic agent. It means it is helpful for the treatment of the anxiety. If you are having the any anxiety, fear during the examinations or any conditions, so then you can go for the buspirone. So that buspirone, it is helpful for or during any interview. So that is because it is having the anxiolytic activity or anti-anxiety activity by acting through a 5-HT1A receptor. And next what drug is a sumatriptan. It is also, remember, it can the agonist of 5-HT1D receptor, and it is helpful for the treatment of the migraine. If you are having the migraine headache, then you can go for the sumatriptan. So that is helpful for the treatment of migraine because it can augment the, it can copy the activity of serotonin on a 5-HT1D receptors. Then it is helpful for to show the anti-migraine activity. And regarding metoclopropamide, also it is known as Placil. It is the agonist of 5-HT4 receptors. It is a shows as a prokinetic activity, and it is helpful for to the gastroesophageal reflexes. When the secretion from the stomach is enter in the respiratory tract or in the esophagus, so that was treated with the help of the metoclopramide, because the metoclopramide is the agonist of 5-HT4, and 5-HT4 receptor, it can enhance the peristalsis movement. So due to that, what of secretion was secreted in the stomach, that can enter in the small intestine, then enter in the large intestine. In the small intestine, sodium bicarbonate is present, that can neutralize. So like that, the agonist of 5-HT4 receptor like a metoclopramide, they are helpful for the treatment of the GERD, that is gastroesophageal reflux. Then as well as it is used for to cause the nausea and vomiting through a 5-HT3 antagonist actions. Then another example is, that is the dexfenfuramine. It acts, stimulate the release and inhibits. Then as well as it uptake of the serotonin, and it is used as the anorexic agent. Okay, the next one is the lorcaserin. It is the 5-HT2C agonist, and it is approved for, it is the weight loss medications, because through 5-HT2C it is enhance the gastric motility, or it can decrease the body gain weight, or it can regulate the appetite. So due to that property, so this drug lorcaserin, it is helpful for to lose the body weight or to control the obesity. Okay, so next one is there is a tegaserod. It is the 5-HT4 agonist. It is helpful for treatment of the irritable bowel syndrome with a constipation, because it can enhance the pulse movement. Due to that, it can avoid the constipation. So like that, the serotonin agonist, so they are used as a anxiolytic agent, or they are used as a anti-migraine agent, or so they are helpful for to control the GERD, or they are used as the anoretics. Then as well as, so they are helpful for to control the obesity, and even they are helpful for to treat the constipation during the irritable bowel syndrome. So like that, the serotonin is beneficial for the treatment of the various conditions, but commonly we are used for the treatment of anxiety and migraine. But in the certain conditions, it is used in the treatment of the GID. So that was not controlled by the antacids and as well as the proton pump inhibitors or many other drugs. So then only we can go for the serotonin agonist. So now we learn regarding the clinical uses of serotoninogenic antagonist. Like example is a first example is ondansetron and granisetron. You should be remember this name. Both drug, that is ondansetron. It is available in the brand name Ondem, and granisetrons. So these two drugs, so they are helpful for the control of the vomiting or hyperacidity, because so where the antacids was fail, or where the proton pump in inhibitors was fail, or H2 blocker was fail, so then only the drug is left is a ondansetron and granisetron. So MSCs are omitting occurs due to emotional imbalances. If anyone relatives are die, so due to that there are more emotions, so on that time they are suffering from the omitting, or they are suffering from the MSCs. So that MSCs are omitting cannot be controlled by antacids, or cannot be controlled by the proton pump inhibitors, or cannot be controlled by the H2 blocker like ranitidine, famotidine, or many other drugs. So on that time you can go for the ondansetron as well as the granisetron. Or during the poisoning of certain heavy metals or any other poisoning, then also MSCs occurs. So that was also controlled with the help of the ondansetron or granisetron. Or during the surgery due to administrations of the general anesthetics, so then also the person was suffering from the MSCs, so that can give the problem to the surgery. So that's why the doctor they are administered before the surgery, that is the ondansetron and granisetron as a pre-anesthetic medication, so that can avoid the MSCs or omitting during the surgery. And these ondansetron, granisetron, so these are the 5-HT3 antagonist commonly used for to control the nausea and vomiting. So that was induced by the cytotoxic or anti-cancer drug or chemotherapy drugs, and as well as it is used as the pre-anesthetic medications, or it is helpful for to control the nausea and vomiting. So that is occurs due to emotional imbalances or seasonal changes. So then you can directly go for the ondem or ondansetron or granisetrons. So next one is the cyproheptadine. It is a antagonist of 5-HT1 receptor. It means it is helpful for the treatment of the allergy, all type of, and is also antagonist of 5-HT1 and 2. So that is helpful for the treatment of migraine headache, and also it is a cholinergic antagonist. It is helpful for the treatment of the hyperacidity or hypersic, because the cholinergic nervous system it can enhance all the gastric secretions. Okay, it is an antagonist. So that's why cyproheptadine it is helpful for treatment of the all type of secretions, so that can caused by 5-HT1 and 2 receptor or 5-HT1 or cholinergic. So that's why it is commonly used as the anti-secretory agent, and also it is used for carcinoid tumor, that is the tumor in the GIT tract, in the duodenum ileum, jejunum, large intestine are also known as colon. If where the tumor is occur, so that tumor was treated so with the help of the that is a cyproheptide, because so that tumor is occurs due to increase the activity of the serotonin, that is known as the colon tumors or duodenum cancers or ileum cancer or jejunum cancer. So that cancer was occurs due to over activity or over secretions of the serotonin. So that was treated by a cyproheptadine. So that type of tumor in the GIT was known as the carcinoid tumors. And also these drugs, they can increase the appetite because the serotonin by act through the 5T1 and 5T2 and 5T3, they can decrease the appetite. But here these are the antagonist. So that's why, so due to use of cyproheptadine, the body weight was increases. Next one is the, that is the ketnaserin. It is the antagonist of 5T 2 and 1C receptors, and also it is the alpha 1 adrenergic blocker. So that's why it is used as a anti-hypertensive agent. Actually it is a serotonin antagonist, but it is due to blocking activity of 5T2 and 5T1C and as well as the alpha 1 adrenergic receptor. It is used as a anti-hypertensive agent. So last drug, that is the methyserigide. It is the derivatives of ergot alkaloid. It is the antagonist of 5T1 and 2 receptor, and it is the commonly employed for the migraine headache. So any kind of migraine headache, so that can controlled by the derivatives of ergot alkaloids. Example is a methyserigide. So these are the uses of the serotonin antagonist, and here you should be remember only two drugs. One is the ondansetron gansetron and second one is the methysergide, because you commonly we are suffering from the hyperacidity or nausea or vomiting. So due to inhalations of the ammonia in the lab or due to inhalations of the gases, so then we are suffering from the nausea vomiting. So that was controlled by the ondansetron gansetron. They are available in the form of the tablet. You give the tablet immediately within 2 hours, so that all nausea vomiting was controlled. Or even in the poisoning cases, a doctor, they are given in the injection through a IV. So that should be containing the ondansetron or gansetron. And second one, you should be remember the methysergide, that is the anti-migraine drug. It is a potent. It should be taken along with the any painkiller like aceclofenac, or it can should be taken along with the caffeine. Okay, so then it is helpful for treatment of the any kind of the migraine or headache. So that's why you should be remember two drugs, like the methylsergide and ondansetron and granisetrons. So next, this is the review of, so this that is the pharmacology of serotonin. So with the help of these point, you should be remember in the exams. Okay, so that is the first point. It denotes 5ST. It means serotonin is also known as a 5ST. Then second point is the tryptophan. The tryptophan is the essential or basic component required for the biosynthesis of serotonin. They may be asked, so which is the following amino acid is required for the synthesis of serotonin means, so that the answer was the tryptophan. The next, that is the enterochromaffin cells in GIT, platelets and referred nuclei of brainstem. These are the storehouse, so where the serotonin can be secreted or present. In the GIT, 90% of serotonin is present in a enterochromaffin cell, where they are synthesized from where only they can secrete. In the CNS, so they are present in the referred nuclei of brainstem, or in the blood, so they are present in the platelets. So in the GIT, so they regulate the GIT modality. In the platelet, they can cause the platelet aggregation, and in the brainstem, so they can cause the excitations, or that excitation is helpful for to regulations of the various brain function, or so that serotonin reaches to the hippocampus, then brainstem, then where it can shows the anti-migraine activity or as well as the anti-anxiety activity, also to allay the development of the Parkinson disease. Regarding blood vessels, so where the 5T2 receptors are present in smooth muscle, it can constrict, it can enhance the blood pressure. But in skeletal muscle, it can be dilated. Okay. So next, in the platelets, the 5HT2 receptors are present. It can cause the platelet aggregations that is involved in the formations of the thrombi or thrombus. Then in GIT, 5HT4 causes the contraction, and 5HT3 it can cause a nausea and vomiting. In the respiration, it is maybe involved in the stimulations, or it can causes the that is the bronchial asthma also. Then CNS, it is in the CNS, it can shows the helpful for treatment of migraine by acting through a 5HT1D receptor, and also loss the appetite through a 5HT3 receptors, and it is helpful for treatment of the pain through a 5HT3 receptor, or it is helpful for treatment of the anxiety through a 5HT1 receptor, and avoid the schizophrenia through a 5HT1D receptor, and it can allay or delay treat depression mania through a 5HT4 and other receptor. So like that, these are the key points you should be remember. So they are helpful for the various competitive exams or to crack the GPAT exams or any MCQ exams. So like that only you can prepare for the other chapter also after your completions of the notes. Thank you.